Hey, Unstoppable Writers. I went to a conference, Social Media Marketing World 2026, and I kept hearing people talk about Claude Cowork and how it can help you do repetitive tasks and even create Google Docs for you, that type of thing. So I wanted to share with you what I just set up tonight. It took a little bit of work, but I just want to share it with you in case it's helpful, in case you want to set up something like this. Let me go ahead and share my screen. What I really appreciate about all the AI tools is that if you are stuck on how to use them, you hear people talking about doing certain things, but you're thinking, I have no idea how to do that, ask the AI tool and it will explain it to you. So a little bit of backstory here. I have numerous experiences that I offer for writers. So I have a mastermind, I have a book liftoff, and we do coffee chats and write with us retreats. And every single one of these experiences is full of gems, whether it's something someone shares or it's the experience itself. And so often when it comes to my content creating, I I am the bottleneck. So I'm a part of these amazing experiences, these conversations, and as I'm going through my week, there's so many times where I think, oh my goodness, that would make an amazing blog post. That is such a great testimonial. But if you're like me, your calendar fills up and it's very hard to actually take the time to sit down and glean those gems and do something with them. So I was working with ChatGPT and giving it some of the transcripts from these experiences. And previously, I had somewhat of a messy system where I would try to capture those ideas and then put them in a Google Doc. And for each idea, it can go across platforms. So, okay, how do I make this a blog, an email, a social media post? So, a little bit of background, I worked with Chat to create a very comprehensive guide of my voice. I included my personality assessments, I included my childhood stories, and just kind of took, I think it was 2 hours, and just kind of brain dumped a lot of information. And it was very insightful because it gave me, there's something powerful when, whether it's a tool or a person, mirrors something back to you and you kind of see it for the first time with fresh eyes. And so it gave me some really great brand insights. And then tonight I was finally ready, like, okay, let's get this system going where I can optimize these experiences and these gems that people are sharing and that I'm sharing in the moment. And so basically what I did, and this is there may be people who could explain this better, but perhaps you'll enjoy hearing it from a writer creative who also has a busy brain and can be somewhat all over the place. So I worked with Claude here on specifically my momentum mastermind and trying to find the stories within it. And so it said, if you want me to actually go ahead and whenever you drop a recording in to create your Google Doc, we need to do some connections. So basically, we tried doing it here within Claude itself, where I connected it when I went to the settings. I connected it to my Google Drive, but it wasn't working correctly. So then it had me go ahead and download the Claude Cowork. And so I downloaded Claude Cowork and that's actually an app like on my phone. So here's my Claude Cowork. And then I had to connect it to Google Drive. And part of why I felt comfortable doing that is that I have a Google Drive, Gmail account that's just for my content creation. So there's not personal information on there. There's not personal emails, client emails. I literally created this, I think 2 years ago, just for content creation. So it's perfect. I could connect this Google Drive and not worry that Claude is going to get access to something I don't want it. And then to operate Cowork needs a folder on your computer and it can just be an empty folder. So I literally created a Claudia folder for it to work. I may change the name later to something more fun. But then I was so excited because I ran this test in Cowork, create this, delete me. And this is why I had to make this video. It made it. It created this video, connection test. Please delete me. So now I'm super excited because we are going to see if this works, the whole system we created, and I won't talk you through it. It's a little bit convoluted, but we basically decided a way to harvest each recording. So there's a content tracking sheet. It'll harvest testimonials, and then it's going to create Google Docs, each with its own specific idea that I can use across types of content. So here we go. The file is there, and let's see what we do here. So they're going to build. They're going to create the two spreadsheets. And so I had done all of this back in back decision-making strategy in my browser, Claude. So now it's basically helping me move it all over to my desktop, Claude. And let's see what this looks like. This is so fun. And my family's out of town for the next 24 hours. So what better way to spend my Monday night than figuring this out? It's summer, so if you're a mom, you could probably resonate that sometimes in the summer when our kids are home, it's harder to have creative, big brain, deep work, brain space. And so I was really thankful for this little respite to get some of these process things hammered out. And then the processes are going to be all set and hopefully running this summer while my son is home. I'm going to go ahead and pause this video while it is thinking. I'll be back. Oh, that screen sharing is paused. That's what I wanted. I want to pause the recording. It's not showing here. Oh, you know what? I'll let you watch it. It's kind of fun to watch it. And you can always, you probably know this, but you can always on YouTube increase the speed. So then you're just watching it fast. So it looks like it's creating tasks, updates, running the commands. I'm very curious to look over here and see when it's going to pop in. I want to hit refresh, but I'm also nervous that if I do something, I'm going to mess up what it's working on. And if I can find the pause button here. That's the share. Oh, here, I bet if I do more. Okay, let's pause the recording. I'll be back. Okay, so it finished creating it, which is great. And it created it here. And then I went ahead and opened it. And then when I opened it, here, I'll go ahead and show you. So I opened it here. And then there was an option to save it as a Google Sheet. Maybe it already did it actually. Actually, maybe it was this one. So it created one that was blank. That's not the one, but this is the one where it has it all set up the way I want it, where there's a status. It's going to have the year, month created, the publish date once I'm done. So this is basically the draft will be created, the Google Doc. And then as I publish things, then I can put the date it's published, and the date, like everything's done, and then change it to in progress when I'm working on it and then done when it's done. I love my green check marks, and it went ahead and had me save it as a Google Doc. So here is my brand new Google Doc. And what's nice is once it's a Google Doc, I can go ahead and create things here. And it's looking good so far. So the last thing I had to do here is, let's see. So I can delete the ones I don't need. And then I'm back in my chat here. And it's going to create my testimonials tab. And I won't make you watch this, but I'll show you when it's done. So excited how this is coming together. I will be back. And it does take some time for it to work on setting all these things up, but once they are set up, I'm excited to share with you guys the new process for when I dump a recording into Claude. So let me go ahead and pause this while it's thinking. Okay, friends, let's take a look at what it did. So it should have my testimonials in my drive. There it is, looking so nice. Let's open it up and testimonials, member or source, and then file, save as Google Sheets. Boom, there it is. And there's that. And then for the one I'm saving, I'm just going to rename it with my initials. That way I don't delete the wrong thing. This one can go bye-bye. Okay, it's gone. And now we're going to come back here. Okay, all of that is deleted. And then just to get a little behind the scenes, the reason the testimonials are set up like this is that I have a naming system for every single offer that I have. And so if I get a testimonial, and I feel like I actually need two different, I'll need a member. I think the name matters, and then the source. Oh, you know what? Let me delete that. So here's the different offers that I have, and this way the testimonials that come from each stream will go into their own tab. So any testimonials about Momentum Mastermind will be dropped in here. Anything from Book Liftoff, where I help people write their first short book, will go in here. Any testimonials from the Write With Us retreats, any testimonials that have to do with spiritual direction, so the Sacred Pause, Sacred Circle, any soul care retreats I do, those type of things, they go here. Any one-on-one sessions, those testimonials would go here. So often when I'm working with someone, they will say something like, Deanne, you're so amazing. I couldn't have written this book without you. But I don't write that down because I'm in the moment of the session. And so now I'm going to be able to drop the recording transcript into Claude and it will pull out those testimonials for me. And then all I have to do is just ask permission from my clients to use their testimonies on sales pages and emails. And then I have the collective here. So that's my monthly membership where people get to go be a part of the Write With Us retreats. They get to be a part of coffee chats. And then they get to ask me anything every single week and I answer the questions live on Facebook. So there you have it. This is all that we created. My next thing. Okay. Yes. The testimonial cheat sheet is done. Something I love about AI is I don't have to type correctly. I can just go fast. And if there's spelling mistakes, it's smart enough to figure it out. So let me just give you a little glimpse here of what this can look like. Okay, so then basically what I'm going to do is copy this. And I don't love how Claude is writing for me. It has not captured my voice at all. So I really use it not to write and create all my content, but really to help me gather the ideas and the gems. And then I have basically a super, super rough draft that I can then go ahead and edit. And so the way that we figured out every time I drop a recording in, it's going to give me the testimonies from that recording. It's going to give me the content from that recording. So here, let's see what this looks like when I drop it into my Cowork. It's going to create a Google Doc for each idea that's strong enough to be a blog and email and socials. And then it should also link it in the Excel spreadsheet. And what was the other thing? Oh, and then I've also asked it to give me feedback. So if there's something in this session, I always want to keep improving and growing as a coach. And so I'll ask it, are there any anything I'm missing, anywhere where I could have taken the conversation deeper or asked a better question. And so it's super helpful to have, again, a mirror, a place to reflect and get feedback. So let's see. I'm so nervous and excited. So now when I go to, this is amazing. Now when I go to my content stream, when I'm ready to work on a blog or an email or a letter, I am never starting from scratch. I am getting to be present and connected to my clients, and then it will pull ideas, and then I can put links to those things once I publish them, so it's all in one place. And then there's an actual story, and of course, would get permission to use it. But there you have it. It has the title. And as you can see up here, it's the naming convention. So we have the year and the month, and then it's draft stage. I haven't touched it yet. And then as I'm editing, I may change this to progress or published or just the green check mark for done. And then it has where this story emerged from, or this moment, this lesson, this insight. And this was for Momentum Mastermind. And then it has the big idea. And then in the Google Doc itself, it has that place for the links at the top as I hit publish if I ever need to find it again. And then it has the blog first because that's the longest piece of content. And then it has the email. And as I train it on my voice, this will get better. The draft will get better. I don't foresee it ever replacing me because as creatives, we always want to stay in the creative director seat. And then it also created socials for me. So there you have it, my friends. That is what I did tonight. Playing with Claude Cowork, giving it access to my dedicated content Google Drive. And I'm off to the races. Let me know if you have tried Claude Cowork in the comments. I'd love to hear how you are using AI as a writer. It's such an important conversation to have. And my goal is to stay away from all or nothing thinking because I think anytime there's a new tool or product, it's so easy to demonize it or to say, I'm only going to use it and then kind of check our brains at the door. And I think there's a very important middle ground to have conversations around AI. And we're actually doing this in Momentum Mastermind the next time we meet. We're going to be talking about how AI is impacting us as creatives, how we're using it, and some of those decisions that we're making of boundary lines. What am I going to use it for? What am I not going to use it for? Because those are the most important decisions that we can make and the most important conversations that we can have. So remember, my friends, to stay curious and keep writing. Your words matter.